So it's the 31st of October and it's Halloween, and there's the dilemma going off in most Christians' heads. Either you've already made a decision about it, or you haven't got kids, so it's not an issue. But trick-or-treating, dressing up, the whole shebang, what do you do as a Christian with an event that, primarily is probably the most anti-Christian widespread event that takes place in the UK? What do you do? I myself have 3 kids. I've got they're all under 10, the youngest being 3, and trying to explain to them, especially the boy, the girls seem to understand, but the boy in the middle, the 5-year-old, why we don't want to dress up as zombies, skeletons, doctors covered in blood, and go around and demand sweets from neighbours' houses, why it might be a bit intimidating and why it's a bit poor taste, and why also it kind of undermines, as a Christian, what I believe is a spiritual battle that's going on between good and evil to sort of promote the evil side and have a laugh with it. It's difficult to get across. But you can tell that I have made a few decisions, it being Halloween today and a few costumes being behind me. A really great thing is that a few churches around where I live put on light parties, a party which is in essence celebrating in a similar way, but celebrating the good things in life and also giving a talk about Jesus being the light of the world. And so we went to a light party tonight, me and my kids, and we wore costumes. Now the costumes, they need to be bright and colourful and positive. But my boy, his favourite superhero is this guy. A guy who's driven by revenge and hatred. As cool as Batman is, which is pretty cool, he's not the hero that I'd like my child to grow up to be. I'd like to survive, to see him into adulthood, so the orphan aspect. But the aspect of the revenge. But anyway, he went as a hybrid, as you can see behind, of Iron Man and Batman together as Iron Bat. And so, yeah, it was okay. But the main thing I wanted to do is I wanted to invest this time in making a costume with him, because I love doing things creative, but also the aspect of I didn't want him to miss out on all the dressing up and the getting ready and the prep for going to this party, which other people would have with trick-or-treating or Halloween. And the church did a great job, and they ended up with a lot of sweets, probably as many as if they went trick-or-treating. But then you have this weird moral dilemma about who your heroes are. My youngest wanted to go as a minion, sort of hence the cut-out bowl and the attempt that happened over there. And once again, it's an odd thing. Like, Gru is the villain, and yet, we've fallen on side of him, and the minions are, in essence, trying to be evil and help the person who's bad. So I have this dilemma. We have Halloween, which is, Christians will look at it and go, no, Halloween, this is bad because, this is a devil's playground here. And then we have Despicable Me. Oh, the cute minions. Oh, they're so sweet. Oh, lovable. But they are trying to support the villain to take over the world and, much the same aspect. So there's a little bit of dichotomy that's going on inside me. And I know it's just about presentation. If something looks cute, then it's, it's all right, even if it is malicious or bad. And if something looks scary, sort of, if something contains blood or that, then that's the thing to avoid. But it's not as simple as that. So in terms of what I've come to as a viewpoint for Halloween is to join in the celebration aspect, that classic passage, to be in the world but not of the world. So preparing for a party, but a different party. So the light party is just fantastic, and I really appreciate churches opening their doors to everybody to come along and celebrate that. And so that's where I fall on it. I don't know your views. My views on trick-or-treating, the kids who come to my door, I'm not going to be able to explain God's love to them by saying, No, we don't celebrate Halloween here. Goodbye. And also, in terms of promoting a healthy message, I don't say, sweets are bad for you, here, have a bunch of grapes. Two things that I really do feel quite strongly on. But I have those young people come to my door for such a short brief of time that if I do give them sweets, I can show them that I care about them. And the light party aspect is annoying that the light party's on the same day. So you're not in for a lot of the trick-or-treaters to tell them. So a poster in the window is quite helpful to say there's a light party happening locally and, here you can go along to it. And the trick-or-treaters who come before the light party starts, you can invite them along. But there's still that aspect of you want to show love, but they won't understand that you're being loving by not giving them sweets. I don't know if I'm going to change over time with that and come to a different viewpoint on it. But at the moment, I'm happy to give sweets. Being in the community, wanting to bless the community, be part of a community, that's what I've decided. Thinking about heroes and villains, like Vin Diesel's in a new film called The Witch Hunter. And yeah, we got things pretty wrong with hunting witches in the olden days. And we still get things wrong sort of in Christian society of how we persecute people. But I thought, how interesting. Could you dress up in an equally scary way, but a biblical way? Could you do that? Could you dress up as a sword-wielding warrior from the Old Testament? I don't think it'd really work. The only real way it would work is if you were a priest with lots of swords and crucifixes and vampire hunter and bottles of holy water. And I think that'd pretty much freak any kids out who come trick-or-treating if you answer the door with a crucifix, shouting, "Be gone!" But, it would be amusing nonetheless. So I didn't opt for that. So I'm going to have a look on Google for Christian viewpoints about Halloween. Christian risks of Halloween. Here we go. Why Halloween is dangerous. This is the kind of thing that I see. Here we go. With a lovely scary picture there as well. We realise that this article by Kimberly David Daniels is controversial. It reflects our own personal views based on many years of ministering to people in the occult. There we go. Maybe later. Right. Word holiday means a holy day, but there's nothing holy about Halloween. The root word of Halloween is hallow, which means holy, consecrated, set apart. If this holiday is hallowed, whose service is set it apart for? The only answer to that question is very easy. Lucifer's. I think missing out on the fact that it's All Saints' Day the next day, so it's the day, the eve, the ween, before Hallow. So they're immediately not on my good side talking about this. Halloween is much more than a holiday filled with fun or tricks. It's time for gathering of evil that masquerades behind the fictitious characters of Dracula. The word occult means secret. The danger of Halloween is not the scary things we see in secret, cruel activities that go on behind the scenes. Wow, this is a controversial article, isn't it? God blimey. So I did some looking on the internet, and none of it really grabbed me as a parent with young children trying to work out how you fit into society which can't understand what you're saying, and you don't have enough time to say it in that fact. So yeah, that's my viewpoint on Halloween. I'd be interested to know what other people think, but I might not be able to answer all your comments because there might not be any. Well, I hope you have a really great All Saints Day, and I hope you have a fantastic time in the lead up to Christmas, where I'm sure I'll have some more moral issues about young children and presents.